What we know from the basic history is that since the beginning of humanity, many stories or knowledge have been passed down from generations to generations, including sacred texts and ancient manuscripts that shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. But why were these divine revelations sent by God recorded in different languages? Does God speak so many languages? Or is there perfect unknown language that exists? First of all, we really need to understand the concept of language and the history of language. Let's make it easy. We create languages to communicate, express, and exchange ideas. As for the history part, we don't have enough data to say exactly what the first language was. Now let's use our stupidity. Let me ask you a simple question. Are humans perfect? Well, the majority would say we are imperfect because we sin or make mistakes. And as a result, we create imperfect languages. So if humans are imperfect, then how can we create something perfect as language? Language of my thoughts and the language that I speak are two different things. Today's language work well for basic communication, but when idea become complex, communication can start to feel imperfect between person A and person B, making it impossible for one person to understand exactly what another wishes to convey. Now, there are three things we will be discussing in this video. But before that, I want to introduce you to someone I was stuck with forever, Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky believed that every human has an innate ability to understand language, and therefore, there is a concept of universal. Wait, what did you say? I said, in the concept of religion, we knew the language before we were born, and this structure is hardwired into ourselves. Which language did God speak to prophets? Why are God's words in many different languages? Which language will be speaking after when we will die? As we know, Abrahamic religion are the major religions at the moment, claiming to be sent by one God. And among these religions, Islam is the only religion that claim its book to be 100% the words of God. But in which language did God speak to prophets? Judaist and Christians believe that God spoke to prophets in Hebrew and Aramaic, but they can't claim that this is mentioned in their books literally. Believe me, I tried my best to ask my Jewish and Christian friends, but their answers couldn't satisfy me. And according to Islam, an angel came to him and extracted light by squeezing him and extracting knowledge. Unlike other religions, Islam doesn't say that Arabic is God's language. Let's assume if God's words were not in a language, then why is the preserved book in a Semitic language? When prophets knew the word of God, they would speak to their disciples or companions, who would then write them down in the language of their time. As mentioned earlier, Islam is the only religion where the majority of its people recite the Quran in its old Quranic language, which is Old Arabic, as Muslims believe that this book has been preserved since the days of Prophet's companion. Well, in conclusion, I will try to give an answer to the last question. While making this video, I really learned so much about the language we speak. For example, English is a combination of many imperfect languages, which is confusing to me. It also gave me the answer to why God chose Semitic language to convey his message to people. Semitic language were the most perfect language to the God at that time. From the secular historians, we learned that old Semitics were so cultural and poetic, and their literacy was so enriching. Lastly, what is the language of God? The answer is guidance is the language of God. I personally believe that God speaks to all of us every day when he guides us to do good things. Anyway, guys, if you like this video and if you want me to create similar videos in the future, then you can comment under this video, and also you can subscribe. As you can see, I just started this channel and this is my first video. And actually, I didn't want to put this part into this video, like asking for subscribe and asking for like and comments. But what I found that my video was getting super shorter, so I had to put a small snip on at the last, so my video could go longer than 4 minutes.
Spends a lot of effort compressing a complex concept into words, and there's a lot of loss, information loss that occurs when compressing a complex concept into words.